I've always been drawn to places off the beaten path, where the roads are dusty, the air is crisp, and every corner holds a story waiting to be discovered. Here the stories are as grand as the mountains themselves, tales of resilience, tradition, and breathtaking beauty. That's what brought me to Tajikistan, a hidden jewel nestled in the heart of Central Asia, surrounded by towering peaks and ancient trade routes. I arrived with a simple plan: live for a month on just $600, carrying only the essentials in my backpack and an open mind. But I quickly realized this wasn't just a personal challenge, it was an invitation to experience the country as a temporary local, to see life through Tajik eyes. Dushanbe, the capital, buzzed with a gentle energy, where ancient history blends seamlessly with the rhythms of modern life. Markets, music, and laughter filling the air. The legendary Pamir Mountains loomed in the distance, their snow-capped peaks promising adventure and mystery. Yet, it was the warmth of the people that truly welcomed me, their kindness shining brighter than any landscape. A smile, a curious glance, a shared laugh in the market. These small moments bridged the gap between stranger and friend. A soft "Salam," the universal greeting, echoed everywhere, making me feel instantly at home, no matter where I wandered. My budget meant shopping at bustling bazaars, haggling for fresh produce, and squeezing into shared taxis with locals heading home after a long day. I ate where locals ate, sampling fragrant plov and warm bread from street vendors, savoring every bite as a taste of daily life. It wasn't about scrimping. It was about immersing myself in the rhythms of community, learning customs and sharing stories over tea. The real richness of Tajikistan, I soon learned, couldn't be measured in currency. It was found in the generosity, traditions, and spirit of its people. My adventure had begun, and I knew it would be one of the most rewarding journeys of my life, filled with memories and friendships that would last long after I left these mountains behind. My first task was to find a place to live. No online listings here, just word of mouth. A friendly tea seller pointed me to a modest apartment in a classic Soviet-era block, just steps from the city center. The rent? $150 for the month. My landlady, Zulfiya, greeted me with fresh fruit and green tea, a gesture that spoke volumes about Tajik hospitality. Living here gave me a front-row seat to daily life. Bread vendors calling out each morning, neighbors sharing tips and stories. My apartment became more than a roof over my head. It was my entry into the heart of Tajik society. I found a sense of belonging that was truly priceless. With my home sorted, I felt a sense of belonging in this new place. I slipped into the daily rhythm of Dushanbe, a city that wakes up with the sun and moves to its own unique beat. Each morning began at the bustling Green Bazaar, a sensory overload of fresh produce, spices, and local crafts. The vibrant colors and lively chatter were a feast for the senses. Getting around meant hopping on marshrutkas, shared vans where you squeeze in, pass your fare forward, and share a ride with strangers who quickly become friends. These rides were more than just transportation. They were a glimpse into the daily lives of locals. My daily expenses were astonishingly low, a pleasant surprise for a traveler on a budget. Fresh groceries for a few days cost just a few dollars, allowing me to indulge in the local flavors without worry. A marshrutka ride cost less than 20 cents, making it an affordable and convenient way to explore the city. The low cost of living freed me to enjoy life, eating at local canteens, sipping endless tea, and savoring the simple yet delicious meals. I also enjoyed picking up small souvenirs, each one a memory of my time here. Afternoons in Rudaki Park watching families picnic and old men play chess became a cherished routine, a time to unwind and reflect. Life here moved at a gentler pace, focused on community and simple pleasures. Conversations flowed easily, and laughter was a common sound. My days weren't packed with activities, but filled with the gentle flow of life, allowing me to appreciate the beauty in the mundane. The greatest luxury, I learned, was having time to simply be, to sit quietly and let the world pass by. In Tajikistan, that luxury was abundant, and I embraced it fully, finding peace in the simplicity of each day. One of the greatest joys of Tajikistan was the food. Hearty, flavorful, and incredibly affordable. Every meal felt like an invitation to experience the heart of the country, where recipes are passed down through generations, and every bite tells a story. My journey began with plov, the national rice pilaf, slow-cooked with tender lamb, sweet carrots, and onions, shared from a single platter for just a couple of dollars. Eating plov wasn't just about the taste, it was about gathering together, reaching in with friends and strangers alike and savoring the moment. I quickly became addicted to kurutob, flatbread soaked in a creamy, tangy sauce, topped with golden-fried onions and fresh herbs. The flavors were both comforting and exciting, and every serving felt like a warm embrace from the culture itself. Meals were more than food, they were lessons in culture and community. Sitting cross-legged around low tables, I learned that sharing food is a cherished tradition, and every meal is an opportunity to connect. The markets overflowed with fresh ingredients, juicy tomatoes, crisp cucumbers, dried apricots, and walnuts from the Pamirs. The colors and aromas were intoxicating, and every visit was a feast for the senses. Naan, the traditional bread, was a staple. Warm, round loaves baked in clay ovens costing mere pennies. The crackling crust and soft interior made it irresistible, and it was always present at every meal. Breaking bread was a sign of friendship, and I shared many loaves with new friends. Each time it felt like a small ceremony, a gesture of trust and welcome. I was often invited into homes for feasts, tables laden with soups, salads, pastries and plov. The sheer variety and abundance of dishes was astonishing, and every meal was a celebration. The generosity was boundless. Feeding a guest is an honor in Tajikistan. Hosts would insist I eat more, making sure my plate was always full and my heart even fuller. These meals nourished my body and soul and taught me the true meaning of hospitality. I left every table feeling not just satisfied, but truly welcomed and cared for. Food here was a celebration of connection, a daily reminder that in Tajikistan, every meal is a bridge between people, cultures, and hearts. One afternoon, my landlady Zulfaya knocked, offering a steaming bowl of shurbo, a traditional lamb and vegetable soup. It was a simple, heartfelt gesture, one of many acts of kindness I experienced. In Tajikistan, hospitality isn't a transaction, it's a way of life. When I got lost in a village, an elderly woman led me to her home, gave me tea and sweets, and called her grandson to help with directions. This tradition, Mehmanavozi, treats guests as gifts from God. Hosts offer the best seat, the best food, and their full attention. Refusing is impolite. Kindness here is unconditional, given without expectation. These moments challenged my Western ideas of reciprocity. The greatest wealth in Tajikistan is a generous spirit. I learned that true hospitality builds bridges between strangers. Beyond grand gestures, I was moved by the everyday traditions of family and respect. The family unit is the bedrock of society, often 3 generations under one roof, elders revered and cared for. Young people stand for elders on the marshrutka. Children serve tea to grandparents first. Respect isn't just a formality, it's a deeply ingrained value. Community extends beyond the household. Neighbors are like family, always ready to help. Celebrations and hardships are shared by all, creating a powerful social safety net. These traditions foster responsibility, compassion, and humility. Worth is measured by one's role in family and community, not individual achievement. It's a perspective that makes Tajik society resilient and deeply human. The call of the Pamir Mountains was irresistible, and my budget even allowed for a shared taxi adventure along the legendary Pamir Highway. The journey was rugged, winding roads, vast valleys, turquoise lakes, and peaks that touched the sky. In the Pamirs, life is simple and dictated by the land. I stayed with a family of yak herders in a traditional Pamiri home, sharing meals of yak milk, cheese and bread. We communicated with smiles and gestures, our shared humanity bridging the language gap. Nights without electricity revealed a sky blanketed with stars. The Pamiri people, known for their love of music, poetry and education, showed incredible resilience and joy. I met a young girl who walked hours to school dreaming of becoming a doctor. This journey to the soul of Tajikistan cost little, but its impact was immeasurable. Sometimes the greatest adventures are found in the simplest places. Living in Tajikistan, I was struck by the resilience of its people. Despite a history of war and hardship, I found optimism and a quiet strength woven into daily life. I met a man who rebuilt his life after losing his home in the Civil War, now running a small shoe repair shop, grateful for peace and family. Resourcefulness is everywhere. Old tires become flower pots, plastic bottles are repurposed. Nothing is wasted. Value is found in what can be made useful. This sustainable way of life is born of necessity, but it's also an art. Most of all, people remain open-hearted, welcoming strangers with warmth and generosity. They choose hope over despair, community over isolation. The true treasure of Tajikistan is its unbreakable spirit. As my month ended, I'd spent just under $600 and lived richly. But this journey was about more than money. It was about discovering a country of immense beauty, deep traditions and unbreakable spirit. I left with a heart full of memories. Zulfiya's shurbo, the chaos of Marshrutka's laughter over plov, and the wisdom of Pamiri elders. Hospitality is a universal language, and the greatest riches are human connections. Tajikistan gives far more than it asks. For the adventurous, it's a place of warmth, grandeur, and generosity. You don't need much money, just an open mind and heart. Tajikistan isn't just a place, it's an invitation to see the world anew,